Hello there, my name is Michael Maynard and welcome back to Gorilla Picking. Now, the lock that you see in a million pieces in front of you here is the C385T, and that is because I have just finished doing what I think anyway is the world's first pick of this thing. So I've googled the hell out of it. I haven't been able to find anybody else that's done this, so I am claiming this. If on the other hand I've got that wrong, then please leave a comment below, but as far as I'm concerned, there's no other videos out there. So what happened was in yesterday's video you saw me strip this thing down. I did this end and figure out how it all worked. I put this back together and picked this thing last night and discovered it does have a couple of quirks actually. It's quite difficult to get onto those two active elements down the back, so which is why they're there, right? So setting the outers on 5 and 6 are actually quite challenging. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting was that some of the inner pins actually overset, which is really weird. You can't overset an inner on a multi-lock, but you can certainly do it on this thing. And so both last night with this one and then today with this one here, which is the one that I've videoed, I found that right at the end of the pick I was going around in circles getting nowhere, and it was because I'd actually overset one or two of the inners. So what I had to do was manually counter rotate that back without losing everything else, drop whatever I'd overset, and then give everything another nudge, and the thing dropped open. So it is a little bit of a long video. The picking and the stripping takes about 11 minutes all up. If you just want to watch the picking of it, guys, I won't be at all offended. I need to do the stripping of the lock in real time, so we can't fast forward through it, so that I can claim the pick. But if you don't want to listen, and you don't want to watch all the way through that, then I certainly won't be offended. What I would like you to do though, as always, is subscribe, hit the bell button so you get the notifications. Comment down below, because I do like to hear your comments on these things, and I like to know where I'm going wrong and going right, So what we'll do now is the picking, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, guys. Here it comes. Okay folks, well, we're clamped up and ready to go. That is the key operating the lock as it should. Now the first thing we need to do is slide those sidebar sliders over to the right hand side of the lock. We want them out of the way. Now unfortunately, because those things are not sprung, they are going to slide round all over the place, and we are probably going to need to alter the position of those later on, and maybe sweep them back. Alright, so we're looking for inners, what am I saying? We're looking for outers, and we've just got a big click on 1, little click on 3, and a little click on 4. Okay, do it again. Nothing more than out, so I'm thinking we probably need to look at 5 and or 6. Yeah, 5's binding. Got a click out of that, wasn't. Okay, got little clicks out of 5 and 6. I'm not convinced that they're going to stay there though, but we'll see. Let's carry on. Oh, haha, okay, right. Yep, so we've just got the outers picked and we have dropped into a bit of a false set, and I've actually got my pick stuck there, which is not such a good situation to be in. I think it's stuck on one of those sidebar sliders. So let's see how we can get that out of there without losing what we've got so far. Can I get underneath it maybe? Okay, right. So next thing we need to do is look at the sidebar, and I've got to say we've got a little bit of a false, here we go, click on 2, got a bit of a false set going here. Okay, it might actually now be time to look at inners. So I'm thinking if we haven't, there's that pick stuck again. If we haven't got the sidebar bang on, we've got it pretty close. Yeah, I think that sidebar might be set, hey? So, if that is the case, then all I've got to do now is get these inners picked without getting my pick stuck 14 times. And we're there. God damn it. Really wondering about that sidebar slider, eh? Oh well, in its defence, that slider does seem rock solid, so I think that's in its gate. So we are now just looking for an inner or maybe two. Right, I'm going to back the tension right off here. I think something might be overset in there. Okay, I've just let the tension off to drop back whatever might have been overset. There we go, and we're open. Right, 5 minutes just over. Took a little bit longer than I expected, but we got there. I think I had overset something there, guys, so I'm pretty sure what happened was that I had actually overset one of those inners. But either way, we are now open, so I'll just show you that the lock is pretty comprehensively turned. The pick is currently stuck, so I'll just turn that back. Alright, now, it does have to be said, I am a little bit concerned about the disassembly of this lock because it's not an easy one to pull apart by any means. So I want to take this slowly and carefully. We are going to shim it if we can possibly get away with that. If I can ever find a shim to use. Ah, there's one. Right, the shim is currently missing the pins, so that's not a lot of use to anyone. That's better. Okay, I think we should now be alright to take this apart. So, fingers crossed. We are... Yep, we're good to go. Okay, so first of all, here are all the pin and pin elements. Let's just put that in here for the time being. And secondly, here is the sidebar. Now, I haven't actually pulled this one apart yet, so I just want to mark that sidebar so that we can get it all back together again. Let's have the sidebar out of there and its springs, and you'll be able to see that we have got all 4 of the sliders in place there. You can see those moving around. Alright, I'll take that apart in a minute. We'll take the top pins out of here first. Now we just basically need to dump those because there is nothing fancy or difficult about that. There's the inside of the lock, it's still got its drill protection in there, so we'll just make sure the springs don't go for a walk. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 pin and pin drivers. Now let's deal with taking the key pins out of here. So here's the key pins on one, didn't want to come out. There's one. Here's 2. There's 3 when it comes. This has got all its original grease on it, I think that's why it's sticky. There's 4. There's 5 and 6. We'll get their inner pins out of there as well. Jolly good. Okay, so that's all the conventional pinning elements, and now let's see if we can get the sidebar sliders out of there without making a giant mess. This is number 4. It's going to be a pain, isn't it? This is another stuck one. Okay, look, I'm not going to bother taking those out, guys, but you can happily see that we have got all 4 of the sidebar sliders in there, working the sidebar like it should. Okay, well, I think that has satisfactorily demonstrated that we can pick this lock. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you guys being with me on the journey to pull this thing apart and learn how it works and pick it. Okay, finally did get out of there. So again, thanks for being with me and watching me while I dealt with this, guys. Really enjoyed doing the first pick on this. It was interesting in the last video to see how it all went together, and it was interesting in this one to pick the thing. So there you go. The C385T first pick. You saw it here first. Thanks, guys. Comment below.